my name is Kara Brown. I am an urban fantasy author, and welcome to my Nanowrimo #quarter goal video. I had every intention of not actually resuming production until next week. That's the time that this video is being posted, but I realized that next week is when Camp Nanowrimo starts, and I haven't talked about my goals. Sometimes I usually do like these goal videos in a combination stream with somebody else, but we've kind of like are taking a break from that. So I thought this would be a good time to kind of talk about what it is that I'm going to work on for Camp Nano, and then what I'm going to be working on in general. So I want to talk about the Camp Nanowrimo project first, because I feel like that's what a lot of people usually come here to these videos for. So for my Camp Nanowrimo project, I'm going to be working on my sewer magic story. Ignore my slightly vacant Act 3 over there. And I want to work on that because that's the one I feel really passionate about. It was either working on that or working on my Caro Tarot book, and it just, the sewer magic is just calling to me a little bit more. So my goal with that is actually to finish the draft in Camp Nanowrimo. So at this time that I'm recording this, I'm at 30,000 words. And I would like to get up to like 100,000. And I'm going to keep working after I record this. So more than likely by the time this actually airs on YouTube, I'll be at 40,000 words, maybe a little bit more, we'll see. But that's a pretty reasonable goal for me, because that would require me to write like 2,000 words a day, and that's pretty manageable. And what I'd like to do is kind of try to aim for the 3,000 to 5,000 word margin, because I'm an overwriter and I want more and not less and all that stuff. So there's that, and I'm really excited about it. But I also kind of realized that I haven't really talked to anybody about this project very much outside of like my inner circle. So my sewer magic actually takes place in a future. It's slightly dystopian, when magic returns to the world, and it just basically throws everything up on its head. And the setting for it takes place in New York, which I've still need to do a lot more research on. Like Cash's boyfriend's been really very helpful in answering some of my naive questions and giving me things to think about. So, you know, if you're seeing this, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. But there's still a little bit more that I have to think about. And then also because I have to speculate on how things are going to happen when the events in the story happen, I got to think about that too. So I've had to think about things like human tribalism, how do people try to maintain, you know, the norm life when things are going crazy. I've had to research like stuff about power. Like, it's been pretty crazy. I ended up reaching out to all my friends who are like, you know, zombie prep people, and being like, so in a hypothetical, what would happen if this went down? And they've had lots of stuff to give me, so that was actually pretty cool. So the story is actually switching between two POVs. The first one is actually Cassie, who is a former Marine who lives in the sewers and the subways of New York. She's a rat shaman, and she's a lot of fun to write, but ironically, I haven't written a lot about her POV. I've written a lot more for my other character, whose name is Angus. And Angus, he was a police officer at the time when the awakening happened, and he's one of the people that's kind of joining up to try and maintain law and order in New York with all the chaos that's going on. So I've had a lot of fun with his arc and his character development, and, you know, kind of his introduction to the world. But I kind of have to at some point switch back to Cassie, because she is part of this duo. And then on top of them, while they aren't the POVs, I've had to flesh out like a couple more characters, like all the animal companions that Cassie and Angus have. And then the other day when I was running, I realized that there was an extra character that I needed to throw in there to raise up the stakes, so I've been fleshing him out this morning. Like, it's a lot of fun. Like, I don't usually get like this excited for these things. I know it sounds really weird as a writer, but like, this is one of those projects where I'm just like, yeah, I'm having a great time. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. I'm also having a lot of fun with all the research that I've had to do. Obviously, I have to learn about New York because I've never been to New York, and I don't want to be one of those people that writes about a place that I've never been to and then does it completely wrong. So I've been doing a lot of research about New York. I've had to re-up some of my understanding about different religions and pantheons, because those are playing a factor. And like, research is one of my favorite parts when it comes to books, because I end up learning new things like the entire time, and it's just, I'm having a lot of fun with this. Yeah, so that is the thing that I am aiming for Camp Nano, basically finishing that manuscript. And then when I finish that, if I happen to finish it before camp ends, then I'll probably go and work on Caro's Tarot, which is my book where I talk about tarot cards and everything involved with that. I think I'm about 30,000 words into that one as well, and all I've really done is kind of done the front matter stuff, where I talk about cards and how to read them and what to watch out for and all that other stuff. But I've only dived into probably like 3 cards, and there's 78 cards, so that's going to take me a while. So if I happen to finish sewer magic early, then that's what I'm going to work on after that. So that's what I'm doing for July. So my quarter goals have completely changed, because this year, 2020, has completely changed my life in so many different ways. For those of you who missed my last video, I ended up resigning from my position over at Otherworld Inks for reasons that I'm not going to dive into, but when I did that, basically everything that I had planned with that got tossed out, and I've had to rework how I want to progress forward. So I spent last week doing some soul searching while in the middle of finals and figuring all that out, and I think I've got a pretty good game plan, so I'll just go over all that with you guys. So I have to pull it up on this other screen right here. So for the third quarter, I have 7 objectives that I want to accomplish. First one is increasing my reach on social media, and that's basically by being active on social media, talking to people, reaching out, networking, all that kind of fun stuff. Since I can't network in person as much as I would like to, I have to focus a little bit more on the social media thing. So I have all that broken down into how I want to do that. One thing I'm doing a little differently with this than what I've done before is, I'm sure all of you know that I usually try to schedule like the bulk of my posts ahead of time, but I feel like there's not a lot of organic feel to that. So what I've done is I've limited the amount of scheduled posts, and what I'm going to try and do is actually like do, I don't want to be like regular posts, but I want to do posts that I feel like sharing at the time. So we'll see how that goes. The next one is to increase my sales on Redbubble. Redbubble is something that I actually got lectured about by my accountant, of all people, because he told me that you're making money on this, but are you promoting it? And I was like, no, I'm not. And so he was like, you need to promote it a little bit more, because basically the income that I make from Redbubble, I can give to him and show the IRS that I'm making money. So we're going to do that. But in order to make more sales in Redbubble, I need to put more art, and I need to, I need to advocate for it more. So that is something that I am working on for sure this coming quarter. Sewer Magic, again, that is one of the big ones. I have to finish it and make adjustments and all the other stuff, so we'll see how that goes. So Objective 4 I can't really dive into because I've got this thing that I'm working on, and I'm keeping it really close to my chest right now, but when the time comes, I'm going to come out with like bells and whistles and tell you all about it. But my next objective is basically doing the prep work for that. So more on that to come when I feel ready to talk about it, but like at this time, keeping it to me right now. The 5th objective, which I'm really super excited about, is actually launching the audiobook for Queens of Swords and Silence. For those of you who aren't subscribed to my newsletter, I have been talking about the audiobook on there for a little while, and basically about how Lisa, the narrator, has been really killing it. Like she just knocked it all out, did a fantastic job. So she finished narrating it, and my spouse and I are working through the marketing campaign about how we're going to launch that and all the other stuff. So in quarter 3, I plan to launch this work. When will I do it? I don't know. Maybe I'll do it on my birthday, like I released my debut book. We'll see. But that is definitely a thing that I want to get done. So I'm really excited about it. Then Objective 6 has to do with increasing my current book sales. So these involves my short stories for both Kara Brown and for Faye Black, and this also includes like my basic novel that's out right now. So by doing that, I have to mention it, I have to advertise for a little bit more. I always feel like a sleazy salesman when I'm like, hey, this is my book and da-da-da-da-da. But you have to, like I say in a lot of my videos, you have to advocate for your work, because if you won't advocate for it, nobody else really is going to. So you have to kind of show that passion where it's appropriate. So that is definitely something that I'm going to do, and I'm going to tackle it a couple of different ways. So for example, instead of just using intros and outros, I think I'm going to try like, end cards in my videos and things like that. I got a couple of things I'm going to try and tackle and see how that works, but I feel pretty good about the way that I'm going to approach that. And my increased book sales right now, I think it's like last year I was like, just sell 10 books a month, whether it be in digital or physical. And I think what I'm going to do for this one is I'm just going to make it like 15. I'm just going to raise the bar just a little tiny bit and see if I can maintain that status for about 3 months and what happens at that point. So we'll see. And then the last objective has to do with my Quarantine With anthology. I need to finish my Quarantine With a Leprechaun story. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really also excited about the people who are doing this with me as well. One person actually finished their draft today, and I thought that was super cool. I have to go read over it and give some feedback on there with everybody else. But so I gotta finish that. I gotta make sure that the Quarantine With, I guess that's actually technically eight objectives that I have to do, because it's my story and then it's managing the Quarantine With anthology. So yeah, so that makes it actually 8 things that I have to get done. So those are definitely like all the business stuff that I have going on. Private wise, I gotta work on my weight just a little bit more, because that quarantine 19, I gained it. I don't want it, so I'm working on losing it. So far I'm down 5 pounds right now, so go me. I'm still working on being sober. At the time of recording this video, I have been sober from alcohol for 22 days, and my goal right now is to hit 90 days, see how I feel after that, and continue to be sober if I feel like it needs to be a thing right now. And the reason I'm doing that is because for me, coping with stress, alcohol has usually been my go-to, and if I continue to do that, I'll just be in a constant state of inebriateness with everything that's going on in the world. So we're not doing that. So I've basically cut that out, and I'm trying to find more healthier ways to cope with my stress. So that is my private one. And I think that's really it outside of spending time with my spouse, but that's like a daily thing that I try to do because he's my spouse and I love him. I'll spend time with him. So that was a lot of rambling, but those are my goals that I'm going to be trying to aim for in the third quarter. I'm not going to say what I did in the second quarter because between COVID and everything that is going on with the Black community right now, and then of course like some other stuff that is popping up all over the place, like everything that I tried to get done in quarter two, just like it didn't happen. It didn't happen at all. My words didn't get written. I think the only thing I managed to actually get done for this quarter was I passed college. So woo! Like literally I finished my last class. Like I'm completely done with the classes. The only thing I'm going to be working on starting near like the end of July is actually going to be like the master's research project. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that right now. I may do a video where I ask you guys for some help because what I want to focus on for that project involves creatives and burnout. So when that class starts, I'm going to take a look at the parameters and what kind of data and how they want me to collect it, and then I'll progress forward with that. But I don't think it's a surprise to anybody that creatives usually get burned out by their work very, very frequently. And this is a topic I can spend forever on, so I'm not going to do that here. But just letting you know, maybe a video where I'd be like, help me. But yeah, so that's my video. I'm pretty pumped about all of this. I am going to do my very best to maintain these goals and just kind of hit it like as hard as I can. I did try to keep these very realistic and very possible and easy to achieve, but again, there are a couple on here where I'm kind of like, maybe not, we'll see. I do enjoy pushing myself just to see if I can get to that point, and at the end of the day, I'll still get farther than I would have if I didn't try at all, so there's that too. But that's all about me. What about you guys? What are you trying to do for your goals? What are you doing for Camp Nano? Feel free to like throw something down there in the bottom. I know that the live streams are going to be picking up a little bit more this coming month, so feel free to check a link out that I have in there for the live streams spreads that I know about, so that way if you need the peer pressure of other people, you can go hang out in those streams and get some words done with other people. But I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. Thank you guys coming over and hearing what I have to say about my story and my announcement and my goals, and I will talk to you all next week.